key to keywords, keyword searching for effective internet searching. What I want to talk to you about today is how to learn to conduct an effective search on the internet using keywords, and also how to refine a keyword combination or a search phrase to get better search results. First of all, I do want to point out that the URL box, which URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator, is like an address on the internet. It is actually for specific addresses like www.google.com. That shouldn't be the place where you do internet searches. Let me show that to you. So the URL box is right here. In this case, I have www.google.com because that's the specific web address page that I want to go to. In order to do searching, you'll use the Google search. Okay, so we're going to imagine that you have a project for school where you have to research more information about who's crossing the Mexico-United States border other than Mexicans. So perhaps a teacher has given you this question to think about: who's crossing the border other than Mexicans? If you were to type that question into your search box for Google, you're probably going to get lots and lots and lots of results, and you may not get exactly what it is you're looking for. It may take you longer to find articles that will help you with the project. You should not use questions as keyword or search phrases when doing your Google search. So we're going to talk about what that means. And that means you want to refine your search. You'll want to try to use at least 3 keywords. The more the better. Apparently 1.5 is the average that most people use, and it's really not enough. You'll also try to use only nouns and test out different word combinations. For example, we're going to try a search in a moment with Mexico, United States, border, crossing, and illegals. You guys can see I have the question in the Google search box right now. We're taking that question out, and we're going to type in Mexico, United States, border, crossing, illegals. Go ahead and search that in Google. We do still get lots of results, and we get them very quickly. And in Google, usually what comes up after a Google search would be the most popular articles, unless someone has paid for an ad. And it will usually say somewhere or look a little bit different if it is an ad. I know you've already talked with your teacher about credible websites, and so at this point, I think it would be fine for you to scroll through and maybe see what some of these articles are. Look at titles, look at the brief description. Also remember to look at your URL, because that'll give you an idea who or if an organization has put this information out there. Here's an article that just may help us. Fewer immigrants are entering the U.S. illegally. It may have information about the specific nationalities of people who are entering. And here's another one that may work: who really crosses the U.S.-Mexico border. So here are some things we could think about. At this point, I'd like to talk to you about skimming articles. This is something you'll want to do to decide whether or not this is an article that will work for you. You don't need to read every article in its whole entirety to decide whether it's something you'll need. The first thing you'll want to do is look at the title, the subheadings, pictures, and diagrams, anything else that may be there. Read maybe the first and last paragraphs of the chapter or the article in full. That would be what I would read in full first. Maybe look too for words, phrases that might be in bold or italic type. Try to just look over the text quickly and kind of pay attention to what you're doing. Focus on nouns and verbs. These are the keywords that'll help you get an idea as to what the author's talking about and whether or not this will help you. And as always too, please check the credibility of the website. So if we go back to our search we just did and we look at this article, who really crosses the U.S.-Mexico border? This is from The Atlantic. We're going to go ahead and click on that article. You can get a sense by looking at your title, your subtitle. You can scroll down, you can see the pictures as well. And then within the article, we even have links to other data. You know, look for the nouns here. This is our very first paragraph. Read through it for the first time in more than 60 years. And I could go on, but you guys are able to get the idea. Read that whole introduction. Then kind of scroll down. There's graph. Scroll all the way through. Maybe look at some of your introductory sentences in each paragraph. Okay. It's going to take you a few minutes to do this, but much less than it would to take the full entire article. And then our article ends here, so I would read this last paragraph as well. And if it's something that you think works, go ahead and keep it. If it's not, obviously we can go back to our search page and look for something else. Or perhaps too, we could go up here and refine our search yet again. Some term that I did find when I was looking was other than Mexicans. That is a term that's used sometimes to describe who's crossing the border, obviously, other than people of Mexican descent. So if we put that in, we get fewer search results, still a lot, but you can start to look through and get an idea of just the types of articles that could help you. And I actually think from what we're seeing here, we're getting better search results than we did the first time. So it's okay to have a long strand. You just want to focus on nouns, not really verbs, no articles like the, a, and an. You want to leave those words out. I also want you to know it's important to refine your searches, just like we were talking about the keywords, but spelling is also important. If you misspell, usually a search engine is not going to catch that. So make sure you're spelling your words correctly. Capital letters are not important. I know when I was typing in Mexico, I probably did not capitalize it, and I know it's the name of a country, it's a proper noun, but when you're doing searching, if it saves you time, do not worry about capital letters. And then two, think about changing words to make searches more effective. We talked about using nouns and not verbs. So instead of the word eat, you might use the word food. That's just a good tip to kind of help you through this process. This is a little bit extra searching information. It's called Boolean Basics. And this is where you can use word combinations and connect them with the word and, the word or maybe the little phrase and not. This might help you to go through and get even better results. So there are some examples here. If you want information about London and Big Ben and Buckingham Palace and Trafalgar Square, all in London, you would want to type in your nouns, your proper nouns in this case, and tie them together with the term and. Okay, these are not articles, they're conjunctions for Boolean Basics, and that may help you. If you know you want items that have the word London or Big Ben or Buckingham Palace, again, you could connect all those with or. It's probably going to get you more results than this and, because with the and, all four of those have to be present. With the or, it'd just be one of those four. And then and not is kind of interesting. This actually does help sometimes. This would be when maybe you want documents that contain London and Big Ben, and you don't want Buckingham Palace. So maybe there are lots of articles out there with all three, and you want to drop Buckingham Palace. So you can do your first two, London and Big Ben, and connect them with and then put in your and not to take out Buckingham Palace. So with a Boolean basic search, you could add the terms and between Mexico and United States, also between border and crossing, and then between illegals and other than Mexicans, you could add an or. And go ahead and conduct your search and get results like these below, which it looks like if you scan through some of these titles and descriptions would be some articles that would work. I also want you to remember, go past the first page of results sometimes. You may find something good there as well that would work for you. And another helpful hint too is that when you're reading descriptions, you might find other nouns that you want to use in your keyword search to help you narrow down that search and get items that really work for your research. If you have any questions, be sure to ask Mrs. Kern in the library. Thank you.